Hey y'all, my name is Jasmine Monroe and this is the Let's Clear the Air podcast. Today I have someone very, very special to me on this episode. You may recognize him from some of your Netflix binges, Mr. Frank Grimsley.
Is it time to talk? Is it my time to talk?
So y'all, let's get into it because see, we already started. He is a TV personality, a content creator, and soon to be a few other things. But we'll save that for later because you know I can't be dropping other people's tea. But you know. But we're going to clear the air on this podcast.
Yes,
so
we're
going to get it together.
Uh-huh.
So we're just going to jump right into it. So Frank, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me.
And of course, outfit.
Oh my God.
Please.
I had to
change my outfit because I said, I feel it in my spirit.
Well, see, I knew
that Frank gonna come real hard.
Well,
let me get myself together.
I knew I was coming over here, so I had to, come on, do the thing. Because you be doing the thing.
You had to pull that from the back of the closet.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. These my good pants.
These are my good pants.
These ain't no dancing pants.
Well, I'm so happy to have you here today. We kind of have shared some of the same journey. Not the exact same, but kind of a reflection of that. We've both been on reality TV. We've both navigated going back into content creation after reality TV. Mm-hmm. So I really want to talk about that today because we know it's a journey. Because we be in the DMs, we be in voice memo, we be like, now tell me why.
Hey, listen.
Because we got to air it out sometimes.
Listen.
So let's start from there. Like, as a black man on a popular reality TV show, like, how did you approach representation on such a big show? Like, The Circle is that girl. Like, I remember when I applied, I was like, I don't care. I could be a catfish. I could be good. But I loved it because I was already in social media. So I was like, oh, wow, this would be great. So how did you navigate that?
Well, The Circle was really interesting for me because I literally, when the season 1 came out, I tweeted and I was like, wow, where is this, what is this show? Because I would be so good at it because I loved social media.
Right.
And I still do. I think content creators, the good ones love social media. But, I just feel like I said it on Twitter and then season 2 came out. And I was like, wow.
Let me just do it. How
are y'all getting on this show? So then I think season 3 came out and I was like, okay. Like,
that's it.
This thing is continuing to roll. Like, I want to look into this. I want to pursue it. So I had started sending like Studio Lambert, which is the people that produce The Circle. I had waited for the credits to roll. I had found their Instagram.
That part.
I had sent them a long message and I was like, I'm the life of the party, sending them videos.
This is what you call investigative journalism.
Okay? That's what
I'm going to find you.
Listen, I'm going to figure it out. And I told myself I had figured it out. But see, God had already figured it out. Because, baby, they didn't read the messages. They didn't read not one. So I literally was like, I was going to, I was like, okay, well, they're not reading my message. Scrolling on Instagram. Apply for The Circle pops up as an ad. You know how you be scrolling through the post?
And they'd be sending you the response ads and be spinning
I literally said, oh, okay. So I clicked on the application, baby. The application was long. You know how the reality TV show applications are. Oh, baby. You got to do a taping.
Big Brother's application was so long. I said, I think it took me like 3 days.
Yeah, I literally started it, and then I got to the part where it was like, oh, you got to do a video. And I was, us, content creators. I'm like, oh, I got to.
Do you still have your first video?
Yeah.
I still have mine too.
Oh my God,
it's so bad.
But I think mine is so funny because I look like I was fed up. I was fed up because I was like, oh, I got to have all the lights. And then 2 weeks rolled by. I was on the way to work one day, and at the time I hated my job. And my friend was like, "Did you ever finish that application for The Circle?" Because we would always talk on the phone on the way to work. And I was like, "Nah, girl, I gotta finish it." Got to work that day. It wasn't any kids that day in the building. It was
like, "This is my time."
Yeah, and I was just sitting there, and I realized like 4 hours had passed by, and I wasn't doing anything with my time. I was like, you could be finishing the application.
So, Frank, you were at work not doing that then?
Yeah, I wasn't doing a damn thing. That's why I had to get up out of there, girl.
Because you weren't even invested in it.
No, I wasn't.
You were like, it's time.
Yeah, it was time
I need
to go.
something new. Yeah.
And then I literally just pulled up my phone. I set it up on my desk at work. And I was like, I basically told them, I was like, y'all are looking for me. And y'all call me. I forgot what I said, but I was like, I'm ready. I'm waiting on y'all to call me.
Meanwhile, I'm up here fixing bamboo plants in the background. You knew I was in my room. I put like a bamboo plant, a green plant. They're like, baby, we know you. Them boho stems. I I put the things in the bag. I said, look, this is the best. And my hair was short. Baby, I said, this is the best y'all gonna get.
Baby.
I said, right in front of that window. I said, y'all gonna see my face today.
And they did.
Indeed.
And they did. But it was so crazy to me because I'm big on like, I'm very spiritual, love God.
Absolutely.
Timing and alignment is everything. And you miss 100% of the opportunities that you don't take. And I feel like I submitted that application probably at about 1 p.m. I got off work. I was in Marshall's looking at candles. And I got a text from this lady. Her name was Meg. And she said, hi, Frank. Oh, my God. I just saw your tape for The Circle.
But see, that's nobody but God, because you know how many people apply for those things? When you really think about and you research how many people put in an application for these reality shows and how hard it is to stand out from everybody else, that's like a whole... I don't think we get enough credit for that, because that's a lot.
Yes.
Okay,
and the fact that you messaged me in
and the thing that you weren't recruited, because I know a lot of people, let's talk about it, are recruited, and they really just going on because somebody came to them with opportunity, which is fine. If that's your jam, good for you. However, there's some of us that actually applied, put in that time, put in, and it just hits a little bit different when we get that call.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but I thank you, God. Thank you, God.
So, because then we would have never met.
Yeah.
Well, no, I feel like it probably would have happened. Yeah. We have a lot of like mutual friends.
Yeah,
actually,
we would have found our way.
Yeah, we would have found our way. Yeah. So, with that, you get on this show, you're doing amazing. I mean, I know I related to you a lot on the show, which I really was just watching for you. I'm going to be just 100% because, I mean, you were just hilarious. And I was like, if there was somebody that would like match up to me, like in a male figure, it would definitely be Frank. So did you experience any pressures from the show that maybe wasn't shown?
Oh, we're finna clear the air.
Yeah, we gotta clear it because I think I want people to really have that. I think people watch reality TV, they think that it is what it is. I know a lot of people watch TV and film and you know that these people are acting, you know that these people have a script to follow. However, reality TV is a little bit of both.
Yeah.
And I just got to clear the air there. Like, it's a little bit of both. You know why you're there. You know you have to get ratings, but we also go through things that people don't see that obviously they're not going to put out there, right?
Yeah.
So were there any specific pressures that you dealt with? Like, whether it was from like, hey, I had to be away from home for this amount of time, I was going through this. Like, what were some of the things that you had to navigate while actually filming?
That's crazy because you know what? This is actually my first sit down podcast.
Because if not me, then who? Okay,
listen,
okay.
But alignment and timing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like your story it's never too late to tell your story. So I think the biggest pressure that I received was this. If you watch The Circle, I was this ray of sunshine. Like I had good energy. Like that's my personality.
Right.
Like that's who I try so hard to be.
But I feel like that's naturally you too.
And that's who I am. And so, you know, you have your little, in The Circle, you know, they're really big because it's behind the screen. So they love playing these little anonymous games where
you better say
you get to throw a ball, you know, and plant a seed of doubt about people. And so people were saying things about me, but when it became time for me to like, you know, say something about somebody else, I never took those opportunities because if I want to say something, I'm going to say it from Frank's profile, not an anonymous page. That's just not me. And I know, and I'm a person that I feel like what you put out comes back to you. So there was an instance where someone, we were doing portraits. This was the scene where someone drew a snake of me to plant the seed that I was a snake.
I remember that.
Basically saying that I was putting up a front, and this was the second time somebody had tried to say like, oh, Frank is like not really that person. And I knew what it was. I was at the top of my game, and let's be very clear.
Very clear. That's what it was, threatened.
Yeah, it was a threat. And like looking back at it, I was like, wow, you were really at the top and you couldn't be stopped. But it's because I was covered by the blood. Period,
because I'm sorry, you can't touch me when he got me covered.
Yeah, and I literally, they were like, okay, the producers was like, okay, so there's not nobody you want to like draw a negative picture about.
If I did, I would have done it.
I said, no, I'm not doing that. So the pressure to play those reality TV games gets heavy, but I'm a firm believer in I'm here because I'm serving a higher purpose. There's not a lot of representation of black gay men on TV in a positive light that are not catty and not there for the drama. I didn't want to be that. I literally went on there to show people that I have great energy, that I can make you laugh, and to share my story of grief and overcoming. And that's what I went to do.
See, we shared that because I too went on the show right after my dad passed away, and I definitely dropped the ball. I'm gonna tell you, what you did was what I probably should have did. And I always question myself because I remember like praying about it and being like, Lord, if this ain't for me, just let it go, But I was also casting for 3 other shows. I was also casting for 3 other shows, and it was working out very well. And so I, chose Big Brother. However, I was very, clear in my prayer. I'm like, hey, if, it's not for me, then it's not for me, whatever. But then I got it, right? I still got on this show, and I still know I didn't do what I was supposed to do, right?
Why do you feel that way?
Well, only because I could have done a lot more. I feel like my mind got so, I was like grieving. I got hurt in the first, I don't even remember what week it was at this point, but it was early in the season. And I had just won a competition, and then my thoughts just started racing at this point, right? And it's crazy because grief is something, honey. It'll put you in a place where you don't even recognize yourself. And so I was like, dang, is this really happening to me? And I could have played it a little bit better. I could have been more, how do I say, you said you wanted to show up as this person that, wanted to do these things. Like, hey, I want you to know me because I'm funny, which was kind of my thing too. I'm like, all my whole life, everybody's like, oh my God, Jasmine, you deserve to be on TV. And I'm like, well, let me see what y'all talk about, what they gonna talk about.
See what I can do.
Yeah. And so when it happened, I was like, okay, I still got that. Yeah. But there was a lot of moments in that show where I could have showed up as authentic Jasmine, because a lot of my friends were like, well, when this one situation happened on the show, they were like, oh, well, you would have never done that in real life. You would have been like, I know you didn't just do my girl like this or whatever. And I was like, I think my mind was just so in this place of scarcity where I'm like, oh my God, I make it home. I really need this, that I forgot who I was for a minute.
Yeah.
And then obviously towards the end, I was like, oh man, Jasmine, you could have did this, you could have did that. But that's neither here nor there. You did what I wish I would have done, so I applaud you for that, because it is very hard. Because I'm telling you, they'll send you in those rooms and they'll be like, I'm like, oh, she said what? Oh, that is, And that's where it kind of got to me a little bit, because I'm very much blunt, authentic. I want to speak on it, but obviously there's also some things we can't do on the show.
Yeah. Let's
be for
that's
real.
The thing, and I'm blunt and to the point too. And so I literally had to, when I got on there, they hated this about me. Producers hated this about me. People would say things or something would come up, and I would sit there and be like this. And they'd be like, what are your thoughts? And I'm like,
I don't really have any.
I'm thinking in my head, what do I want? I was very clear on what my mission was and precise about how I wanted to show up. So I wasn't going to give you my immediate reaction without thinking. And I feel like a lot of people go on TV sometimes and you get caught up in the things, and it's easy too.
It is, especially you're
hard.
by yourself.
Yeah.
You got I have all these people around me, so it's very hard. Because you're also trying to play the game, but also trying to be yourself.
Being strategic.
And you're like, oh baby, I'm tired.
It's a lot.
Just saying, I'm tired.
It's a lot. It is a lot.
But it couldn't have worked any other way. You know what I mean? Because that's just who you are.
And you know why I was very strategic in that too, because when I grew up, I think the only representation that I saw of somebody being black and plus size on TV was at the time being from my youngest moments. I think Amber Riley was the first on Glee. And I love Amber Riley. Shout out to Amber Riley.
Oh, yes.
And I when I met her, I literally I sat across the table from her, and I almost got teary-eyed because this was after I won the circle. And I was like, look at this moment I'm having. I was like, you don't know what you done for me, because you went on TV and did what you did, and you showed up. It made my little black, fat self feel like I could go on there and do that too. And so I feel like, why would I go on the show and be anybody else other than myself? Because somebody needs to see me being my full authentic self in this way.
So speaking on that, representation, how do you feel like that you've changed the game for the people to come after you? I
feel like the bar is set. And it's not to be cocky, but I feel like I went there and did the work. I feel like you have to open the door. You can't go through the door and close it back. And I want people there are other people that have probably done reality TV after me that saw me and said, oh, wow, I saw that. I get fat boys coming up to me all the time saying it was so refreshing to see somebody that looked like me on TV.
It was hard for me too, because even with that though, there were some people that are just mean online. They were like, oh, she's thick, she's big, Honestly, I didn't care. I have tough skin my whole life, baby. I grew up in Mississippi, so it's not much you could throw my way without me. Baby. You can't ruffle my feathers like that. But it was nice to see that, because it's just well, dang, people are paying attention to those things. They're not just paying attention to us as a personality that can make them laugh or have a good time, but like you're showing up in a different area where somebody else can be like, you know what, now I feel the confidence to be like, I can do this. Because that's what you exude anyway. You already have the confidence, baby.
Well,
that's one thing you do not lack.
Because the world ain't going to give it to you.
You hear me? Because you better figure it out.
No, you have to.
Because all they want to do is tear it down. So you better have it for yourself. So with confidence and all that kind of good stuff. So you had a lot of fashion sense on the show, which then made you go into content creation, correct? So
you a little bit.
I feel like that when you got off the show, you were doing it like your little slow-mo walks with your outfits.
Oh, girl, I was trying to find it.
Yeah.
I was trying to find something.
So let's talk about that, navigating from reality TV to content creation. Now, I was a content creator before, so I kind of knew the ropes, but I didn't realize how much it would change after coming off of TV, because now brands don't only see you as a TV personality. Now they're trying to be like, well, are they going back into content creation, or are they just going to tap into being a TV personality? Like, what are they doing? So you almost got to kind of navigate your brand a little bit. So was it easy for you to kind of come off the show and have opportunities, or what?
How much time we got?
About 15 minutes. About 15 minutes, Frank.
You should have asked this first. But no, I think a quick answer is I'm still finding it. And I think the hardest thing for me, I got my first brand deal before I went on the show as well. Okay. I had 5,000 followers. It was with Adobe when they came out with their version of Canva. I forgot the name. Okay. Creative Cloud Express. I was in one of their first 50 creators across the globe.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
And I had 5,000 followers, and they were like, "Oh, we'll pay you $8,000."
And that was with 5,000 followers, but that's Adobe. Shout out to Adobe.
Shout out, hey now, y'all can call me back again.
Yeah, please.
Please.
We know how to edit. We know how to do all the things.
Baby, somebody can do it. We can get somebody to do it, but the price is yesterday's price is not today's price now, girl, because they $8,000.
But no, they're a good brand to work with, for sure.
And so I did that. I loved content. I was working with different brands, helping them with their social media, all this, because I love social media. So I already had the tools, but after getting off the show, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I just won this show. I already know how to create content.
You thinking them DMs about to be popular. Like, let me figure out which one I want to work with first.
As soon as I came off the show, I got a deal with McDonald's. And
I missed that one.
It was their 4-year Pride. It was Pride campaign. And they wanted me to be in a parade. And I was like, okay, brand deals are coming in, baby. It came time for that job to redo the contracts. And I was already on the outs. And I was like, okay, this is the perfect time for me to shift into full-time content creating. I have money in my savings account that I ain't never had before. This is the time. So I quit my job, and even on How to Get Rich.
I know, I watched that. I said, oh baby, let me cuddle up and see this, because when you get, as you know, we do get a little money, and it's like when you see that money, you're like, oh, what do I do next? But I watched it on the show because I was like, this is good for people like me, like that are content creators, because you relate to me so much. I was like, well, let me see if we gonna tell him, because I know I ain't doing what I'm supposed to be doing either.
Let me tell you something. When I tell you navigating the brand life has been so challenging.
So you don't have a manager?
No.
You don't have an agency?
No, I used to have one.
Look.
But that didn't work out.
Okay.
But
same.
Yeah, no, it was like, I think the biggest thing for me is it took me until probably this year to understand that it still doesn't matter how good you are, how good your work is. At the end of the day, I am a Black, plus size, openly gay male. And that is, I'm not on nobody's top tier list.
Well, I don't want you to say that.
Well, no, I
don't want you to say that simply because you are.
Oh, I
just think that the way
the world,
people,
yeah.
And then I think it's also about finding the people that are going to be behind you to push you to those limits. I need somebody that's going to hustle for me like nobody. I need you to hustle for me like I will hustle for me. And if you're not going to do that for me, if I'm not going to be one of your popular ones that are on your list, your agency list, then there's no need for us to even have this conversation, because I'm number one on my list, right? And so I think that you will find someone that is going to be like, you know what, this is our target. And it may be, you may just need a manager. And I think that the big misconception in this industry is the fact that you need an agency to be successful. That is not the case. Because let me tell you, would you like to see what I made without an agency? Because we could talk about it. But I'm like, I think that we just have this culture now that you see all your popular influencers and content creators or whatever doing all these brand trips with these agencies and all this kind of good stuff, and you feel like, oh, I have to have that in order to make it. But I'm here to tell you, you don't. You don't. And we can do it by ourselves. It's just when we get a little bit too much on plate, then it's nice to have somebody that's going to take over the reins and negotiate and do all those things. But you've been navigating it by yourself as a self-managed creator. Do you feel like it's been good? Do you feel like eventually you're going to want management again?
I think at some point, yes. I want to get back on TV in some capacity. So I don't know what that looks like yet. But I know it's coming.
Reality or just theatrical TV film?
So ultimately, I would love to do Broadway one day. Like that's big goal.
You would be so.
Oh my God!
That, right?
I want to be I'm buying
the first ticket. You gotta let me know first.
Hairspray. No, I don't have to be Tracy Turnblad, but I want to be the man, the mama. I want to do. That's like my dream role.
You would eat that up.
So good. I would literally cut my beard off for it. I swear. So. Candy Burrs, if you want to make a black version of Hairspray and put it on Broadway since you're throwing everything else on Broadway, call me and call Amber Riley and be Tracy Turnblad.
I just need a good seat. Baby. So I can be the one.
And I need 10% of my idea, Candy, because I know you about your business and I'm about mine too.
Okay, just I do.
We down here in Atlanta, and Candy Burris might see it.
Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. So.
But yeah, navigating it has been. Well, I think the biggest thing for me is it took a lot for me. I feel like, dang, it was dry season.
It's been like that. But I think that people coming off reality TV, well, let me rephrase that. When you go onto reality TV, you think that you're going to have all these opportunities when you come off. And you won, but I made it pretty far too for the show that I was on, right? So I think that you think that it's going to be that way, but it's not that way because you still got to go and put in the work, and you still got to have somebody that's behind you that's going to support you if you are getting a manager or going the agency route. But I like to have that candid conversation that no, it's not easy, and honey, you don't know how many tears I shed. Like, well, damn, am I not good at this? Do I need to give up? Do I need to delete this account? Like, what do I need to do?
Listen.
Because then that being on TV made me realize, okay, Jasmine, you really want to do TV, but is it reality TV that you want to do? Like, you got a personality, but I'm like, you know what? No, next time it's going to be my own reality show, actually, you know? And then I still want to do TV and film, but like, you have to navigate where you want to be in the industry. But
it was hard.
It was definitely hard. It was definitely hard.
I literally was like, I think it was end of last year. And I literally was sitting in my apartment, and I was applying for jobs. I know I applied for like 20 jobs.
Wait, last year, right?
Yeah,
but
last year.
But you were doing great.
No, I wasn't. No, it looked like I was doing great. I was literally
that perception.
I was literally in a sinking a sinkhole, and it's because I had spent so much time and money investing in myself. I quit my job. The brand deals weren't flowing in, but baby, the bills kept coming.
Baby, one thing they're not gonna do is stop.
And so you see, you have responsibilities. Like I'm seeing my account go funnel down. And I'm not able to build it back up because when I get paid, okay, let me go ahead and pay all this up because I don't know when I'm going to get a check again. And so last year I was like, I literally remember sitting in my apartment, and I have somebody I speak with quite frequently. And I literally was like sending voice notes. I was like, God, why would you tell me to quit my job and it was going to be like this? I literally was like, not mad with God, but I was questioning him. I was like,
what's next?
What is happening? And I literally remember last year, it was like October, November. And I was like, God, you know how it is, Q1, people won't know what the money is. And I was like, God, please just give me a contract before the end of the year to let me hold me over. Yeah. So I can start the year off good. I ended up getting honored at the Baltimore Ravens game. That was through a branded deal with McDonald's. And yeah, I was like, okay. Now we got something.
Little momentum here.
And when I tell you, I feel like God said, I want to test your heart posture when you have nothing and see where you stand with me. I'm not going to none of those jobs are going to call you back. So sit in it. Sit in it because I told myself last year, I said, every year I have a theme for myself, and I said restoration is going to be my theme for 2024. I said God has taken a lot of things from me, but I feel like he wants to test my heart posture, and I know that he will give them back to me. And when January hit, I literally have been, now this year, I've been pumping with steam.
Oh, yeah,
pumping
for sure.
with steam.
I feel like I was like that too last year. I was like, no, it actually started at the end of last year. I was like, all right, Jasmine, get yourself together. I had a surgery that put me down, made me question everything. Then I wanted to get really healthy. And then I was like, all right, Jasmine, so this is what. And so now I'm picking up my momentum, but it took me a long time to get back to myself after the show. So I'm just kind of like, sometimes you need those years where you're like, all right, let me sit. Because, baby, I was like, you, baby, I'm writing that prayer journal so much. I know he was like, now, girl, I know you're not putting another prayer on it. Why did I
You're not coming back here.
I told you to sit down.
Listen.
Look, I was like, all right, Lord, just tell me. And then this started to come to fruition. I was like, you know what? I know where I want to be. I just got to put some action behind it. And then things just started naturally flowing. But I feel like you're going to be successful in whatever you do. I know you have your steam going now. You know I'm going to always support you.
Oh, yeah,
and I don't know. I feel like whatever's next, which
I feel like something's coming.
I know. I feel like something's coming.
Listen.
All right, so with the transition, like we've been talking about with reality TV into content creation, like now, because it's not the same as what it was before, we're really trying to brand ourselves now, right? Which is truly what I've been doing. I'm like, okay, I know if I do the podcast or something, I can't wait for somebody. It was like an Issa Rae moment for me. Yeah. It's like she created something and she was like, you know, I'm gonna just put it out there. That's how I felt about launching my podcast. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna put it out here and I'm building my brand as who I want to be. Like I'm doing speaking panels, but I had to be very clear on that vision of like, Jasmine, what do you want? Like what can you wake up every day and be like, this is what I wanted. So for you, what does that look like? And how have you navigated trying to build your brand from scratch?
Get up out that bed, get up out that bed, get up out that bed.
I said, I wish he would have brought.
Listen.
But I said, I know you can't travel with that, so I'm not gonna do too much. I'm
about to get me a mini megaphone because
you have to have a travel version.
I gotta have a travel because it's not fair. Because I go all the time.
It's not fair to us.
Yeah, it's
when
not
we
fair.
meet you and we be going out and brunch.
Listen,
we gotta have it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it on. I'm gonna get it on. But I think that is so important because I literally told myself the exact same thing. I told myself, I asked God for two things. I said, God, I want to speak more this year. I want to do stuff like this. I want to be on panels. I want to host. Like I want to do that.
Because we're good at that.
Yeah, like I need money to come from other places that also bring me joy.
But honestly, when you really think about it, Frank, we already did it on reality TV. Yeah. Once you show someone your personality, it's like we are good at those things because we're literally on TV doing it, and we don't need no help doing it. Okay. Like that's just us.
Exactly.
So I think that it just naturally aligns with our journey and what we're trying to do. But definitely speaking panels. What else would you want to do?
So branding is coming. Get up out that bed has become a thing.
Oh, it is? So, please.
And it's crazy. Like you just have to. That's why I say you have to just go.
You just gotta do it.
I told myself I want to navigate the world like water. How water kind of forms with everything and flows. It goes. And I literally that started because I was up before everybody else. I used to have to go to the gym at 5 a.m. because I was working a job that I had to be there by 7:26. And so I was up before everybody else, and none of my friends were up. So I started talking on Instagram to the people that were up. And in my head, I was like, okay, well, this is kind of like morning radio for me because ain't nobody up. And then one day I was just like, get up out that bed, girl.
And it kind of took off.
And people was laughing. And I was like, what are y'all laughing at? And I think maybe a week later, I said it again. And people were
And you were like, uh-oh. And you gotta pay attention to that though. Yeah. You gotta pay attention to what people are seeing in you that you probably don't see.
Yeah.
Because like even me when I post my content, I'm like, ugh. But then I go read some of the comments and I'm like, okay, y'all like this part, even though it could just be something you randomly woke up one day and did.
And so I literally was, it kept rolling. I thought nothing of it. I was like, okay, well, whatever. And then one day I was like, okay, I'm getting kind of bored with this. Like I gotta take it up. I was like, I'm about to get a megaphone on y'all, and everybody thought I was like playing. And so when I ordered one from Amazon, and it came in, and I did it. I made like a little skit, doing the little drumline thing.
I remember I was DMing. I said, "Please stop yelling at me, Frank. Tell me something. Get up out that bed."
Yes.
I would say, let me get up then. Because I'm not a morning person. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like
Listen,
I've never.
You don't ever be out of bed.
I be trying to, but sometimes I watch. I say, well, let me get a little slow move on, then let me get on up this road.
Yeah.
But
And then it turned into a thing that is now
So we're gonna get us some T-shirts. We're gonna get us some.
You're getting
a couple of branded items.
You're getting merch.
You're
getting ringtones.
Oh, that's gonna be.
You're also getting a song.
I feel like this is like the insider.
Yeah, it's like, exclusive. I've never talked about it.
Okay, I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited.
And now that I've said it publicly, I have to like make sure I do it.
Yeah, you gotta do it the right way.
Yeah. So ringtones. Oh my God,
now I'm excited for it to drop.
Yeah, it's gonna be Get Up Out That Bed song. So like I'm gonna do like
I'm
gonna do different ringtones. It's gonna be like Get Up Out That Bed, girl, but I'm also gonna have them like baby, get up out the bed. You know, like something for everybody.
You're right, cause see.
So I'm gonna be.
But I need somebody yelling this. So I like the first one.
It's gonna. You can choose whichever one you want.
That's good.
And yeah, that's gonna funnel me into. I want to write a book called Get Up Out That Bed, where it inspires people to get up out the bed. So that's your exclusive. Heard it here first. Because Get Up Out That Bed means a lot for me because and I don't want this to go dark, but I feel like this is a huge part of the story. When I was 14 and my mom passed, I was getting ready to go to school. It was early in the morning. I went down the hallway to like tell her I was going to go to school. I would always stop halfway. Her room was on one side of the trailer, mine was on the other side. So I would stop halfway and be like, all right, I'm going to school. And sometimes we had gotten into a little tussle the night before, like the night before we had gotten into it about the dishes. I didn't do the dishes and she went to bed mad at me or something. And so she would make me come up to her room and give her a kiss to make up for it.
Man, I used to hate that growing up. Listen, like when you get in trouble and they be like, now come up here and give me a hug.
I'm still mad. And so this particular morning I was running late, which I'm a late person. And I was like, girl, like I'm about to be late for this bus, like stop playing. So I went up there and she was unresponsive. She had went into a diabetic coma in her sleep. So that's where I found that joy for like every single day I get up out the bed because I've seen so many people leave this earth. I feel like I'm compelled to like get up out that bed because you don't know the moment, take that joy. I was
gonna ask like where did that originate from?
I'm really passionate about it, and when people tell me like I see your post and they make me get up out the bed, that's bigger than me. And I think as content creators and finding branding to like tie all this back in, you have to find what makes people want to get behind you and do everything. Baby Candy Birds, she could go open a restaurant, she could go do a burlesque show, but it's something about her. She
can leave a reality show and come back
and
it don't matter.
Because I support her because I'm inspired by her drive. I support Tyler Perry because I'm inspired by his drive.
He's the one.
I love Crystal Renee. Like she used to be Tyler Perry's assistant. And now she's
when I tell you
now she's huge.
Her story,
it's amazing.
It's amazing.
And but because she's sown those seeds, I'm gonna support whatever those people do. Yeah. And I want to make sure that I'm showing up, and that's what we're doing now. Clearing the air with the podcast. We just have to show up.
And I had to because I was like, the one thing about me is that I've always been known to be very blunt, very honest. I don't sugarcoat anything. And then I was like, you know, this may not. Maybe people might not like the fact that I'm so honest about things that, you know, what we deal with. But I'm like, somebody got to hear it. Because if I had to go to one more doggone panel, seminar, workshop, conference, whatever it may be.
Listen.
That was giving me cookie cutter responses about, oh, all you got to do is be consistent. All you got to do is just show up. Yeah. And you know, like I said, but also, it's so much. And that's what's like, it's hard navigating this because I think people see that we've had a little success with being on TV or having brand partnerships, but y'all, I be crying. I be going through it. I be trying. This week has taken me through there.
Oh yeah, and
when
it will continue to take you through it.
But you know what? I actually watched this the other day because I love Steve Harvey. Like he's just so funny to me. I just love him. He said you got to choose your hard. And so he said it's hard to be unhealthy, but it's also hard to show up in the gym. And so I was like, okay, this podcast is actually whooping my tail. It's very hard. It's a lot of things that I'm navigating through that I've never been through. But I could also not have this podcast, and it could be hard just going to a 9 to 5 every day because I know that that's not going to bring me joy. So I was like, well, Jasmine, you're choosing your heart, and this is something that you love to do, and you know you love people, you know you love getting to the bottom line of things because I have a background in journalism, but I never could do what I wanted to do with it. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to make my own way, right? So with us making our own way and building our brands from scratch, like, do you have any advice that you would want to give people that are either trying to go into reality TV, going to content content creators trying to build their brand from scratch. Like, what would that look like if you could give them advice?
Oh, can I be honest? Oh, can I really
No,
be
that's
honest?
exactly, because don't give me no sugar-coated answer now, Frank. That's not what this here for.
I think that you have to really ask yourself, what is the why? Because I think people see, content creators are making millions of dollars. Oh, I want to be a content creator. Okay, but why?
Why?
What is the reason? What is the reason why you want to go on reality
And is
TV?
it your why?
Yeah, like,
is it somebody else's why? Or is it your why?
Right.
Because you can see somebody else doing great things, like, dang, I wanted that partnership. Dang, I wanted to go on that brand trip. Why am I not good enough?
Yeah.
You may want their why.
Yeah.
And you're not really thinking about, but is that really, if I got to that brand trip, would I really enjoy myself to being around those people? Do I even support the brand? Do I even buy their brand on a daily basis?
Hello? Am I bringing value? Like, what is the value? What is the value here? What value do I bring? What value do I bring to the space? And that answer, even for us, that answer, what I brought value as in 2023, that looks different today.
Every year, because we're growing as people.
And it's going to continue to change. But what is the why? My why is that I want to show up and be the representation that I wanted to see, regardless if that's on TV, in content, brand deals, networks, tables. I want to sit at the table. I want to be the Andre Leon Talley of this generation, but in all things, not just fashion. I want media. I want hosting. I want brand deals. I want everything I can touch. I want it, and I'm gonna get it.
Absolutely.
And I think that is my why, because if nobody comes after Andre Leon Talley, who are the people that our children now going to look up to that are fat, that are black, that are gay? Like, who are they going to aspire to be? And there are so many examples of, I think black women have so many beautiful examples of what that looks like. And I feel like when it comes to, like, I've been in the gym for 3 years. I have the money where I can go cut this stomach off and be skinny.
And I'm almost thinking about it. If you want me to be complete, I'm almost thinking about laying on somebody's table, because the way the journey's going.
Listen, I be thinking about that too. But I literally told myself, I have to continue to stand in the gap for people
that are not,
that look like me. Or that we're on the same journey together. Because I know when I go on those brand trips, people are seeing themselves. When I go, when Peloton asked to work with me to do workout stuff, and they wanted me to host an event, and
it was automatic alignment.
I said, wow.
But you're doing it the hard way too.
Yeah.
You're doing it the hard way, and that's when I didn't even want to share my journey, because I was like, I know people are gonna think Ozempic, that's the first thing, baby. Everybody ain't doing it that way.
Nah, baby.
Because I'm personally afraid of everything. I'm really like, I don't
even like going to the dentist.
Oh, baby, that one tops the list. Like, when I tell you, I could fight a dentist. I cannot stand the dentist. But also, like, I didn't want to get stuck with needles. I don't want to take shots. I don't want to do any of that. So it's just kind of like, okay, Jasmine, how can you do this from scratch? Because some people may not have the money to either buy that. Some people may not want the easy way out. And I was like, I need to go on this journey, because I've been battling it my whole life, like being bigger than my sisters, and like, oh, you're cute, but if
hello.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, you have a great personality, but if you
I'm
like, well, if you take that away, then doggone it, y'all won't have anything to go off of, would you?
Okay.
So that's what's like, I'm still working on it, but I also want people to know it is a journey. It's not gonna happen in 3 months. Like, it's gonna take me some years to get to the best shape of my life, right? But I'm okay with that, because I need to show people that you do not have to be a product of your circumstance. That's my biggest why.
Yeah.
It's like, I've literally grew up in a small town. I literally was homeless, but people just see, like, this one girl DM'd me the other day, and she was like, when I was like, y'all, it's a struggle. Like, this week is taking me through. They're like, wow, I never knew you struggled. And I was like, well, then I'm definitely not showing up the right way, because I need you to know that, baby, I be struggling. I be crying.
Baby.
I be over it. I be like, I'm not getting on my phone this week. Like, it's a lot. So I was like, we have to show up in that capacity for people, to let them know that, hey, it's not easy at all.
Imperative.
Yes. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like, reality TV it's kind of made us a path, but at the same time, I feel like it's also helped us navigate to who we really want to be in a weird way. It's kind of started us on the journey to be like, you know what? Actually, we are capable of this, and we can do this.
Yeah. You know what's funny? You know what's fun to me, though? What's been so fun to me lately? I'll be like, I'm just gonna create my own reality show. Like, my Instagram, I'm like, my stories, like,
you have to.
That's my reality show. Like,
and you got to come here to get it.
You got to come here to get it.
But you know what? We're gonna have our own reality show one day. I can see it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I could totally see it.
I tell people all the time, baby, if you think I'm hot now, Baby, I'm just getting started. I have not done a damn thing yet. That's why I don't put me in a box. Please. Don't think that I have hit my top. Okay, I'm literally not.
We're learning ourselves. But once you learn that, oh baby, it's a wrap after that.
Yeah.
Well, Frank.
Oh, it's gotta end.
Yeah.
So long.
Farewell to you, my friends. Goodbye for now. Until we meet again. It's been great to see and play together on the park.
And now it's time to say goodbye. So,
Wait, the fact that we both do that out the rim, because Happy in the truck home.
Listen.
I was distraught when it was over.
Oh my God.
Because I was a Disney Channel girl.
Goodbye. I said, oh my God, why y'all gotta go so slow?
When I tell you, I can't even watch Disney Channel no more because all the memories. Fun fact, that's a Raven, I'm pretty sure shaped me. Like my personality and who I was, because she was goofy and like, that was me.
I just don't think you're a lesbian. If you are, I don't know.
I'm so sorry. I'm so in love with my husband. No offense to absolutely anybody.
I love me.
Love what you love.
We love lesbians. Because I'm on the hunt for a stud.
I'm about to be like, now what you say? What did you say in the morning? Talk about some, get about that. Get about this house.
Okay, go
Because you had to play around. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
All right, you guys. Well, I'll be. So this is why we could have sat here and talked for 3 hours. The time has come. Oh yeah, okay. Well, thanks guys. I mean, I feel like we were already rolling at this point. Cause you know I'm a little tomboy at heart. Well, the time has come. We just gave you just enough to wet your whistle, as my mama used to say. Thank you so much, Frank, for being here with me today, for sharing. Again, we're super excited for your launch.
Yes.
And yeah, thank you for coming and clearing the air with me.
Thank you for having me.
Now I know you're about to head to a brunch.
Listen.
I wish I could turn up with you.
I'm coming outside.
When do you leave?
Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday.
I head out to London, but
come on, London town.
But dang, we need to take a little shot of something together.
You ain't got no liquor in your kitchen? It's a liquor right there.
I got a little bar.
We about to take one. Cut the cameras off, girl.
Cause it's a wrap.